What's up, guys? I'm Hustle.
And I'm Mo, and welcome to the Mo Hustle Show.
What up, y'all? We so glad that y'all stopped by to kick it with us.
We talking about everything from politics to pool pits to stripper poles. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it.
Period. What's good, everybody? I'm Hustle.
And I'm Mo.
And welcome to the Mo Hustle Show. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. It's, the weekend just flew by.
Right.
We didn't really, you know how that goes.
Never get to do anything. Just trying to make shit happen.
But we here.
Right. So how is everybody out there doing?
Right. And hey, shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us and looking at our videos and commenting and on our Facebook page and all that good shit.
We appreciate
y'all. For real.
We appreciate all of it because we need y'all.
Certainly. So, ooh, we talking about something very important today.
Right. We're talking about maintaining our mental health, something that a lot of us neglect on a daily basis, and it's the first thing we should take care of when we wake up in the morning is making sure we're good mentally.
Right. You got to take care of that crown.
Right.
And I think that there's a negative stigma surrounding mental health, period. Like, not so much for me right now, but back in the day when I was younger, a younger adult, maybe even a teenager, if you would have told me that somebody was mentally ill, man, I would have thought they was batshit crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Running around, assaulting people. That's just the stigma that surrounded mental health. Like, everybody always say, oh, they crazy.
Right. Or no, this is the thing that would get me. That's just the craziest things now that I'm an adult is somebody say, oh, they're mental. We're all mental.
Right.
I would hope that we are all mental in some sort of capacity, but that's just to, point out that there's a stigma. Like, oh, she's mental.
And the crazy thing, I don't like that, man. Y'all got to stop calling people crazy.
Right.
Because they have mental health issues.
Yeah. You don't know what a person's been through. Mm-hmm. You don't know if life situations turn a person crazy. Like, there are so many different factors that can contribute to one's mental health status. And
you would think people would know that, because if you ask me, I think every adult, I'll say, has had some type of mental health issue.
Depression is real. Even if you aren't bipolar or schizophrenic or have any other type diagnosis, like, I can guarantee you depression has probably hit everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, listen, man, all the information that we discuss during the podcast is strictly for our personal beliefs. We research.
We conduct our own stuff based on shit that's happened to us.
Yeah.
And things that we know to be true. We're not just out here throwing information out at you guys from out of a can of paint or anything like that.
Exactly. So all the information that you see, just know that it's from personal experiences and research. So, yeah.
All right. So let's jump into it. So mental health issues come from somewhere. They start somewhere. So let's just make it simple. Let's start from a child. Like, let's start from kids being born into certain situations. Kids being born into certain situations and never having had that chance to bypass mental illnesses, mental problems, or things that maybe their internal or external environmental factors have caused.
Right.
You can have depression, you can have schizophrenia, you can have any type of mental health diagnosis, and it can be developed from your environment or it can be genetic.
Yes, it's
just so many different ways, and I mean, it's just, there's no way to tell where one's mental illness comes from, pinpoint. You can, if you research that person, research them from the rooter to the tutor, from the time they was born up until now.
I'm sure you can pinpoint something.
Right, you can figure it out, but a lot of times, even in therapy, people aren't so forthcoming with the things that have happened to them that led up to, whatever mental health diagnosis or disposition they may have. So it's a wide range of reasons why people end up with mental health illnesses.
Right. And if you think about a kid, man, like, children are supposed to be children. There's certain things that they're not supposed to see. They're not supposed to be raising their siblings. They're not supposed to be catching their parents doing certain things.
Right.
And so you got to know that when that happens to them, that it's going to change them in some way. So, yeah, it definitely, a lot of factors in your childhood have to do with how you are mentally as an adult. But go ahead.
Oh no, you good. Let's talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Most people are familiar with what Maslow's hierarchy of needs are, and the reason why we just want to highlight this is because with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, at the bottom of the chain is basically food, water, shelter, clothing,
The
basic
basic needs,
necessities,
yeah.
things that you need in order to prosper. Now, I'm gonna just skip what's in the middle. We'll jump back to it. But at the top, it's basically you being able to reach self-actualization, which basically means you're able to be the best version of you. You're able to be a productive citizen. You're able to achieve one's full potential. Okay, basically you at the forefront of your life. You're doing things. You positive. You
Right.
making money. You happy. You know what I'm saying.
You own your
living a
path.
good life. You
Yeah.
living the American dream.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people fail to realize is that you can't even get there if you can't get your basic needs met. So, what I mean is, a child born into poverty, and this child doesn't know how they're going to get their next meal. They don't know where they're going to sleep. They don't know where they're going to get shelter, clothing, all those things. So you can't be worried about those things and
still flourish.
right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
impossible.
impossible.
It's
Yeah.
impossible. And the things in between is safety, belongingness, and self-esteem. So those things, definitely, you're not going to have a chance to grasp any of those things when you're trying to figure out how you're going to eat.
Definitely not.
So-
Especially, and this is going to sound a little superficial, but it's a fact. When you have children in school, first of all, kids can be very cruel. So
Right.
you may have a kid in school that don't have the best shoes on, don't have the best clothing on, and then you may have the other kids that always are Jordan down, polo down, whatever,
Right.
and that falls right into that hierarchy that you're talking about.
Right.
Those are basic needs that kids need, and if you, not even that you have to have, name brand, but if you don't even have a good pair of shoes that you can put on your feet, or socks without holes, or just clean clothes, that plays a whole lot into how your mental health is as a child. And then it doesn't help that you go to school and you get picked
Right.
at.
You plan on that kid's self-esteem.
Right.
And they're 5 years old going into the kindergarten, and they're in school not able to concentrate because they didn't have anything to eat for breakfast. Mm-hmm. Now you talk about your your peers making fun of you because your shoes got holes in them.
And there's nothing that you can do about
Right.
that.
And at lunch, you scrape your tray to the bottom because you don't have any food at home.
Yeah.
You didn't eat breakfast. You don't even know what you're going to eat when you get home. So you talk about a depressed kindergartner.
Right.
It's possible.
It really is possible.
And it happens all the time. The sad part is that depressed kindergartner doesn't know what depression is.
So they don't know how to,
They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to cope with it.
They don't know how to tell you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to come out and tell their parents, "Hey, I don't feel well. There's something wrong with me. I don't know what it is." But
Right. So then they start acting out.
they start acting out. That's
They
it.
start acting out. So, it starts, well beyond, or before you become an adult, teenager, preteen, like this stuff starts early on. Your mind, when you're a child, you start to pick up on every little thing because your little brain is a sponge.
It's a sponge, yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
And-
Kids are sponges, man.
Right. And it's not just the good shit they, soak in. They soak in everything.
They soak
that
in
they
everything.
experience.
Yeah.
So-
Everything. That's crazy.
You talk about social media now.
Oh my goodness. We're not even gonna talk about social media. But let's talk about social
Let's
media.
talk about it. And the reason why we are talking about it is because, believe it or not, even the adults, like, y'all, we jump on social media and we see all the things that everybody else is doing. We see people riding around in the Ferraris and Lamborghinis.
The nice,
and
yeah.
They got the Gucci and they're shopping in the the best stores, and
Yeah.
here we are working our little,
Just to make
jobs. Right.
Just to make
it. And we're like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm working every day and I'm busting my ass and I don't have any of this
I can't even afford to go and buy me a nice pair of shoes, let alone
Imagine
those.
how that plays on somebody's self-esteem, on their emotions. And, don't get it twisted. We are supposed to live like kings and queens, and we're supposed to live lives of abundance.
That's right.
But at the same time, people get it twisted when they think they're supposed to be doing what the next person's doing.
That's right.
Or not even that they think they're supposed to be doing what the next person
It's
is
the
doing.
comparison
They think,
for
yeah,
me. You know what
they
I'm saying?
think that you've made it. And if you haven't, gotten to those levels, then you feel inferior.
A lot of times people be mad for no reason.
Right, because people really like, some people got their shit together.
Right.
But some people are on social media stunting.
Yep.
And don't really have their shit together, and they got the next person feeling inferior. And don't get me wrong, nobody's saying don't shine on social media.
Absolutely not.
Because you should be able to,
celebrate your accomplishments.
Yeah, celebrate your accomplishments. Yeah. But it's just, some people, they look at that stuff and they don't realize every time they log on, it's impacting your mental health.
Exactly. And y'all, we gotta stop comparing ourselves to other people. The only person that you should be competing with is you.
Right.
You should be competing with who the fuck you were yesterday. Don't ever look at somebody and say, "Oh, I want that life," because you don't know what it took for them to get that.
Right.
You don't even know if it's real.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't know if it's real.
Yeah. So
a lot of people getting their panties in a wad, feeling some kind of way at something that's not real.
Yep.
So y'all be careful, of the comparison.
Yes.
When you look on social media and you trying to compare your life to someone else's life, always remember somebody else is a little bit more fucked up than you are.
Exactly. If you see somebody doing well, look at that and say, "I'm proud of them," or "That's great." Don't ever do a comparison, because you're gonna end up with your feelings hurt every time.
Right.
So.
And also, if we would create our own vision, our own lane of what we think is success, and I'm gonna just say this real quick. A lot of people get it twisted and think that money is the answer, but money does not make you happy.
It does not, yeah.
And
it helps.
Money makes life easier.
It makes it easier, but
money is not the key to happiness. Because I know for a fact, you know what I'm saying, you got people out there who work a 9 to 5. There's absolutely nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. There are so many jobs out there that do pay you a lot of money. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You got a decent job. You got your credit decent. You're able to, have your basic necessities. You're able to take a few vacations a year. You're able to live comfortably. If you see something you want to buy, you go out and buy it. You can do it.
That's life right there.
That's life, being comfortable. Yeah. A lot of people get it twisted and think, oh, I got to have millions and I got to have this Ferrari. I got to have this Bentley. No. It's plenty of people out here that aren't filthy rich, but they're comfortable and they are able to maintain, their bills. They're able to maintain their lifestyle. They're able to maintain their mental health.
Yeah. They're
able to enjoy life at a slow, steady pace. It doesn't have to be rah, 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 rah. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's not, everything is not a rap video.
It's not a race, yeah. And if you're not grateful with where you are, you really can't expect to get more than what you have.
Right.
Like, you got to be thankful for what you have. Even if you don't have shit, you just got to be thankful for
it. You got to be thankful for the small things. Because, just having somewhere to sleep, having somewhere to call your home, having a vehicle to drive.
That's a blessing.
Able to pay your bills, your basic bills.
Yeah.
And go out to eat every now and then if you want to. Those are things people take for granted because, social media has painted this picture to where
you have to be a certain thing.
Right.
Yeah. You got to be rich. You got to be flashing this money. And no.
And it's playing on people's depression. I'm telling you.
It is. It really is. And not saying that you should stop doing those things because it's playing on people's depression, but if you, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, if you have to do all of that, if you have to jump on there and compete with other people, then you're not really where you need to be mentally anyway. You know what I'm saying? Take care of that. Just self-love, really.
Right. Self-love is where it's at. And when you go ahead, I'm like, yeah.
No, you good, man.
You said self-love.
Yeah, you have to love yourself. You have to love where you are. You don't ever compare yourself to people because that will fuck you up mentally.
It will. It will, because everybody's not going to be on the same level.
Yeah.
And when somebody's on that level you're trying to get to, you'd be surprised at how being happy for somebody else will affect your situation, because that's still gratitude. Even though it's projected on somebody else, that's still gratitude.
Yeah. And once you show that, dang, you can look at somebody else and be happy for them, yeah, you just might get it yourself. Most of the time you will. You can.
Right.
So
for those of you who are going through something. Maybe we'll talk about depression. You know, maybe you are depressed, and you just in a messed up situation. You in this funk and you feel like you just can't get out of it. There is always a way to get out of every situation. You just have to start with that first step, and that first step is just having faith that you can get out of it and that you can overcome it. And I can say for myself, I've been in terrible stages of depression, and I mean for years. Christian can tell you there have been times that she didn't see me for a couple years, and I just thank God she was still my friend and would talk to me on the phone.
Hey, listen, disappearing acts right here.
Yes.
But it's all good. I mean, it happens. Sometimes you gotta back away, remove yourself from your environment to, you know what I'm saying, to rebuild and get yourself back together. So,
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're in a situation and you depressed, we don't know how you got there. Only you know your story.
Yeah.
Don't ever feel like you can't get out of it.
Yeah, it's always a way out.
It's always a way out. And when you at the bottom, when you feel like you're at the bottom, just always remember you can't get any further than the bottom.
That's right. That's the lowest you can go. Right. And one thing that people got to remember is your mind has to be the strongest thing on your body. Over everything else, your mind has to be the strongest thing. And people say, mind over matter. If you think it, you can achieve it. If you see it, and all of that stuff is true. So just keep in mind that when you're in those low places, listen, don't keep focusing on the negative. A lot of people focus on the shit that they don't want.
And they
bring more of it to them. So you just always got to remain positive. I know that shit is so cliche. People always say, be positive, but that shit is true. Like, changing your thought process will help a lot with the depression and all the mental health issues you have, the anxieties, the ADHD, maybe the PTSD. I have a lot of friends that suffer from, you know what I'm saying, PTSD, just from being in the military. And it's definitely, it starts with you. It starts with that crown.
Right. And people, I'm telling you, mental health is put it like this. I mean, everything starts with the thought pattern in your brain. You know what I'm saying? Your brain sends certain signals to your body. Like, your brain can tell your body to feel good or bad. Literally, if you're sick and you focusing on, I'm sick, you're gonna be feel sick. You're gonna be sick.
You're gonna be sick as hell.
I'm getting over a little sickness, and I had to, of course I wanted to lay down and be lazy. Oh, I don't feel well, I'm sick. But I was like, you know what, Monica, get up, do something.
Keep going, yeah.
Even if you uncomfortable, like you gotta get up and you gotta get out, get some sunshine. You gotta keep going, because once you do that, your body, it listens to those signals from your brain.
That's true, and man. Like, when I'm sick, I do exactly what you just said. Like, I don't just lay there. If I'm physically able to get up and move and do the shit that I do every day, I'll get up and do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even though it's hard.
It is.
Sometimes we sell ourselves short a lot because we think we can't do something.
We think we can't do it, yeah.
We think we can't. That's the first thing we do. We think we can't do it. We never think, well, hell, fuck it, I can do it anyway. Shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we need to do.
And the key is to just tell yourself that you're going to do it.
Right.
And just do it.
Do it. If you're physically able to do something, do it. There's so many people out here who have physical limitations that can't do the things that we can get up and do. And they wish they could. Right. And if they could, they would. We can sometimes and don't want to.
Exactly. So picture me having all of the capabilities in the world. Anything that I want to do, I can do it. But I'm just sitting back not doing it.
Right. Because I don't feel like it, or because I'm sick, or because, your mind is...
But let me ask you something. So we went to school with a lot of talented people. A lot of talented basketball players. Mm-hmm. And if you notice, like, back then, we would have looked at them and said, I know they're going to be in the NBA.
Right.
Or I know she's going to be in the WNBA. Or I know they're going to do this and do that. But then you see them years later and they're just not. And not that they have to be what we expect them to be, but you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like they gave up on life. And it just kind of makes you think, like, what was their childhood like? Is it something from their childhood that just made them stop believing in themselves?
It's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
I can tell you from personal, just based on what you said. Mm-hmm. I have anxiety. And as a child, I didn't know I had anxiety. All I know is that every time we would have a basketball game,
I remember.
you remember when I would always get sick?
Yeah.
Like at practice, at games, wherever. I had anxiety as a child and I didn't know what it
no
was.
idea what it was.
I
Yeah.
didn't know why I got nervous or why I would be so ready for this fucking game to be over with.
Yeah.
People thought I loved basketball. I didn't.
It made you feel, it made you sick.
Right.
You know?
It made me literally sick. And I didn't it didn't register till I was an adult. And I was like, well, damn, that's why I would always get sick.
So do you think that it made you sick because of you were putting so much pressure on yourself from what other people expected of
Right.
you?
People expected me to love basketball and want to go to the WNBA. I hated basketball. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Even though I went to school, you know, on scholarship and played, I didn't love basketball. I just wanted to go to school and get my degree.
Right.
Like I said, it's just kind of crazy that I didn't recognize until I was an adult that I suffered from fucking anxiety.
Yeah. It's weird that you say that because my experience was different. Like I didn't really have experiences younger of anxiety, but you know, a couple like 2017 when my brother passed away, it hit me hard. Like I would have moments where I would have palpitations. I couldn't focus. You know what I'm saying? Just the regular things that you get with anxiety. And man, listen, I had to go talk to somebody. And that's another thing. Like sometimes when we go through stuff, there's also a stigma around therapy. Like we are so afraid to go and say I need help or to go sit down with somebody. I've never been one of those people that said, oh, they can't help me. Nobody can tell me if, you know, why I'm mad. But when I went and I sat down and I talked to a lady that didn't know anything about me, you know what I'm saying? She didn't have any feelings towards me. Sometimes when you talk to people, you know, they may tell you what you want to hear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this lady was neutral. And it really did help me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Going and sitting down and talking to this lady really did help me. And I did that for a couple months, man. I'm going to be transparent. Like, after that happened, I needed that.
Right.
Because the things that I was doing, nothing was working. Nothing was soothing.
Listen, there's not a whole profession of therapists and psychiatrists
For
and
nothing.
psychologists out here for nothing. It's
Yeah.
a professional field that's needed. You know, it's in place for a reason. And we would be crazy to not take advantage of some of the resources and tools we have to help us. Like we got tools and people, you know, in place to help us for a reason.
Yeah.
So it's crazy when we say, well, nah.
They
no.
can't help me.
No, they can help you. And if you find the right match, you find a therapist that you are comfortable with, y'all making progress, they're helping you develop coping skills. Why
They
not?
can absolutely help you.
Why
Like,
not?
we got to normalize saying when we need help, saying when we have an issue. We can't always walk around here and be perfect
Right.
and think that everything is just supposed to go a certain way. Like, life is up and down. So you just got to learn how to deal with it. When it comes to you, you got to learn how to deal with it. So
And these days, we got so many triggers.
so many. Yeah.
Like that, you know, didn't even exist back then. Like we talked about social media. Like people, long time ago, you couldn't jump on social media and feel jealous because you weren't living. Like you didn't even know how the next person was living.
Social media is a big trigger.
It is.
For a lot of people, man, for a lot of different ways, but definitely, man, I've seen people dog walk people on social media.
Right.
You know, people that are supposed to be their friends and it's just crazy to me.
It is.
I can't get into that. Because imagine going on social media and talking shit about somebody and then boom, you look out the door and there's a car in your driveway.
Right.
That's why I can't do it. That's why I don't do it. I can't go back and forth like that because that'll be my mood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's like that.
It really is like that. So just be mindful of you know the symptoms of if you know somebody and you know you feel like maybe they're suffering from some type of mental illness, or you may know, not even just feel like that they have some type of mental illness. Just check on them, give them different avenues, man. Try to get them out the house.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I know you tried to get me out of the house one time.
Man,
one time
kicking and screaming. Like, God, you was so difficult, but I love you, man, and it don't even matter because you know what I'm saying. You got through that shit, so
Yeah.
we here, shit.
Yeah, she had to drag me out the house one time, her and her wife. And they took me to where did we go to? A carnival or something?
We went to a carnival like downtown Charlotte.
Yeah.
What was it, like a food?
Maybe it was Gay Pride or something. Was it Pride?
It was something to do with Pride, but they had like a lot of food trucks and stuff like that out there.
I hadn't been anywhere in like a couple years.
Dang. Yeah.
I
So
mean, not really. That's just how bad,
yeah.
That's how bad my depression was, y'all. I was just literally in the house,
Yeah.
sulking, by myself. Didn't want to talk to nobody.
And a lot of times when you ask people, like people that really are suffering from depression, they'll act like they're fine. Oh, I'm good. No, you're not.
Right.
Like I can tell that you're not good. So
Right.
yeah, man, check on your people, check on your homies and your friends and your loved ones, because everybody out here got some type of mental illness. I don't care what y'all say.
Right.
We all suffer in some way.
We gotta embrace it. It's a part of life. Mm-hmm. Life can't always be good. It can't always be great, or we won't even be able to appreciate, when things are good.
Exactly.
So embrace the bad.
Yep.
Just don't hold on to it. Embrace it, but don't hold on to it.
Mm-hmm.
Learn a lesson from it. Keep it moving.
And definitely change your thought process. Like, I know we touched on this earlier, but this is very important. Like, I didn't realize this till I was older, but the way that you think, the way that you process things in your mind, that shit will affect your life. So whatever you want in life, whatever you want to achieve, that's what you should be thinking about constantly. Not the other things. Don't think about your problems. Don't, because that'll push you further into depression, and it's going to bring more of what you don't want to you. I know we already said that, but it's very important.
Oh,
yeah.
Thoughts are powerful things.
They really are.
And I just can't say it enough. You can sit and you can think about something and think about something and think about something until it becomes you. It becomes your life. So when you wonder how people go into these depressive slumps for years, because all they're doing is just sitting thinking about how they became depressed, what happened, and like think about how you're going to get yourself out of it. Think about all the things in life that you've been missing. Mm-hmm. Think about, I'm going to tell y'all what a great coping mechanism for depression was for me, was making money. Mm-hmm. Like, find something else to do. Find something positive to do. Exercise. Y'all wouldn't believe how much exercise helps with depression. And I know it's hard to go from a state of depression to being like, oh, I want to go to the gym. But if y'all know anything about endorphins are released into your body to create a feeling of happiness. And you do this by exercising. When you sweat, when you get your heart rate going, you exercising, y'all, these endorphins are pumping into your brain. Mm-hmm. And they help you with, your sad feelings, your bad thoughts,
I think exercising is probably the hardest thing for people to do, because people are so lazy.
Yeah.
Like, people don't even want to walk out their front door and go to their damn mailbox, let alone
social media.
Yeah.
Sit on social media all day and
yeah. So, but she's right. That exercise thing, it really helped me. That's honestly, the exercise is what helps me. That's what I use to cope with you know what I'm saying, my anxiety or whatever. I go run, I go work out, and of course making money. Because who can be mad when you're making money?
Right.
It's hard to be pissed off when you're making money. But yeah, man, it's just keep those things in mind. There's a lot of other things that you can do. Like people do yoga,
right?
Meditation.
Meditation is a big thing, y'all.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't ever experienced meditating, or if you don't know how to meditate, listen, hit us up.
Hit us up, yeah.
You can go online, you can Google just about anything, but if y'all want to learn some of the things or how we meditate, just hit us up. We'll share anything with you guys. We're going to have an actual topic on meditation and ways to release stress and things like that. But in the meantime, in between time, if y'all need ways, if y'all, want to learn new ways to meditate and how to get serious with it, hit us up.
Definitely. Listen, man, we're going to be starting a new segment called The People Want to Know. All right. So if y'all have questions, if y'all see something, anything on social media that you want to ask us about, or that you want us to talk about or discuss, please feel free to send that to our email, and that's mohustle33@gmail.com. Again, that's mohustle33@gmail.com.
I want to touch on one more thing.
Let's do it.
If you're trying to get out of a depressive slump, or you depressed and you don't know what to do, I'm going to tell you the first thing you can do, and it doesn't take any money, don't take a whole lot of effort, is make sure y'all are practicing gratitude. Oh. And I know y'all hear me talk about gratitude on just about every show that we have. But if you find a way to show gratitude for even if all you have is a meal, if you have a place to sleep, if you've got, an outfit, show gratitude for that.
That's right.
Y'all wouldn't believe if you show gratitude for the things that you have, you'll get more. Like you'll get more.
Yep.
And I don't even know how to explain it, but I just know that it works. I know that it works to show gratitude for the things that you have. It also makes you feel better to show appreciation for the things that you have. Because it's really easy to find yourself in a depressive state if you're sitting around looking at everything you don't have.
Right. That would depress anybody. Like,
Right.
So, yeah, it's one of them things,
So,
man.
and like she said, find you a therapist. And you know, a lot of people say, well, I don't have money for a therapist. Y'all, there are so many therapists out there. Like, there's an overabundance of therapists now. Everybody wanted to be a therapist. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I think it's great.
But that's
I'm
true.
telling you,
That's
you got
true, though.
people out there doing stuff pro bono because they out here for the cause. They trying to help people get their shit
their
back in
mental
order,
together.
get their mental back together. So if you can't find a therapist because you don't have the money, reach out to us because we know several people. We got resources. My sister's a therapist and she doesn't even know it yet, but I'll make her do some pro bono stuff for y'all. If you need a therapist and you don't have money, y'all, please just hit us up.
Yeah, and we got y'all. And that's very, very, very important. If y'all don't take nothing else away from this, take this right here. If you need help, seek it in the best way that you can, even if that's calling a close friend or whatever, but definitely don't sit there and suffer. Go get that help.
Right.
Let's normalize us going to therapy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to do that.
Okay, so y'all, Ellen, Wendy, we coming for y'all.
Come
ass.
in.
But we love y'all though. I'm telling you,
do.
y'all inspired us to do this. Damn, this shoe is dirty. We about to give y'all some shoe cam.
A little shoe camp action, a little Balenciaga.
I ain't got no damn Balenciagas, but I got some Air Max though.
And those are dope. I love those. I like those better than the ones I got on.
Well,
You want to trade?
Yeah, we can trade if your feet weren't so damn little.
You had like I'm in here in them white baby shoes. Them babies be
The
wearing.
ones that be hanging up in the mirror.
Right. Hard ass baby shoes. Those are the ugliest things I ever seen.
Yo, I forgot to do this last time. But I want to send a shout out to Chrissy Marks. I'm going to drop her information in the link. If you guys need mugs, t-shirts, rolling trays, whatever, she makes
coasters.
it all. Coasters.
We got some coasters. They dope.
Right, we're going to drop her information in the link. But if y'all need anything printed, like she does everything. I mean, you could probably bring a sheet. She'll probably print you your picture on a sheet. It doesn't matter. She can put it on anything. But her name is Chrissy Marks. And again, we're going to drop her information. So if y'all need anything like the mugs or rolling trays, anything, just make sure y'all hit her up.
Absolutely.
So you got anything else today?
No, I think I'm good, man. I just want to say, make sure y'all jumping in them comments because conversation rules the nation.
Right.
Jump in there and let us know what y'all think. Let us know what y'all's thoughts are. Let us know what y'all want us to talk about. If y'all even have questions for us, man, jump in the comments.
Yeah, we transparent here.
Yeah, we are very transparent. So.
We're here to help. You know, we got a lot. We were so excited. Like, we got a lot of topics coming up that I think will help everybody in a positive way.
Right.
So make sure y'all link, subscribe, and follow us on all major social media platforms.
All
The Mo Hustle
platforms.
Show. But until next time, y'all be good.
Peace.